Good morning, students. Now we start with the second lecture of industrialization. First topic we have to study is proto-industrialization. It is very important over here to make a difference between industrialization and proto-industrialization. As per the examination point of view also, this difference is very important to remember. Proto means anything prior, means previous stage. That means the stage prior to industrialization, it is known as proto-industrialization. Now it is very important to differentiate it from industrialization, because industrialization, it is synonymous with the setting up of the industries. That is, surplus production is also taking place with the system of industrialization. So now we will study what are the features of proto-industrialization. In this, first we'll have to make a reference to the system of, that is the barter system. You must be well aware about this system, barter system. In barter system, there was no role of money. That means we say that currency was not in circulation. In this system, currency was not in circulation, but then trade took place. How come? It is a very important question that if currency was not in circulation, how trade took place and how people exchanged goods or how they satisfied their needs, because everyone requires a basket of commodities. I cannot satisfy myself with just having a commodity, that is wheat. I need rice also, I need clothes, I need shoes also, and similar other things. So in barter system, suppose a farmer A, he produces wheat. And if there is a farmer B, he produces rice. That means both are agriculturists. A, he is producing wheat and B is producing rice. Now what happens if the person A, for his family, he requires rice also, and now there is no currency. If currency would have been there, then what would happen? He would just take money to the market, he'll go to the shop of rice, and with the money he's having in his pocket, he can purchase rice. But in the system of this barter system, I'm again and again saying that currency was not in circulation. So how come trade took place? Suppose this farmer A, who is producing wheat, he is producing 100 kgs of wheat. This is just an hypothetical example. And he requires only, for his family consumption or for the subsistence level, he requires only 90 kgs of wheat. That means he is having surplus of 10 kg. 10 kg wheat is surplus. Similarly, if I take the example of the farmer B, he was producing rice. Supposingly he produces 150 kgs of rice, and for the subsistence level or for the consumption for his own self and his family, he requires only 120 kgs of rice. 120 kgs of rice is required for his own consumption. That means he is having a surplus of 30 kgs of rice. That means now he can exchange this 30 kg of rice, which is a surplus amount, with the farmer who is having 10 kgs of wheat as a surplus. That means now A farmer, he can exchange 10 kgs of wheat, and B farmer, he can exchange this 10 kg of wheat with the 30 kgs of rice. This is what is the main essence of barter system. So farmer A, he is having both wheat and rice, though he is producing only wheat. Similarly, farmer B, who is producing just rice, he can have both wheat and rice for the consumption of his own self or his family. Now the important point to remember in the barter system is that in barter system, production is taking place only for the subsistence level. Production is only for the subsistence level. Now if he is having, a farmer A, he is having surplus 10 kg of farmer B, he is having 30 kg of rice, it is not that he has produced this to sell in the market. It is just a chance occurrence, because a mass production is taking place on his field. In that case, he is having 30 kg of rice. He is not having in mind that he will sell this surplus amount in market. Only after he is having a 30 kg surplus, then only in exchanging this product with the farmer A. That means in barter system, production is only for the subsistence level, and therefore there is no market as such as we see it in the present sense. Now contrary to this, if we study the phase of proto-industrialization, in proto-industrialization, production what is taking place is not just for the subsistence level. It is the conscious effort of the producers who produce the good, whatever it is, that is a surplus amount of production is taking place. That means production is not just for subsistence level. Here we are having some kind of idea of market in which if we are having the surplus amount, we can sell this surplus amount in market. And one more important thing is that, of course, this is a major point, that at this time, at the phase of proto-industrialization, currency was there in circulation. So if people are selling their surplus product, be it the farm product or be it the weaved items, for example, it could be a textile product also. If the person is selling that surplus product in the market, in return he is earning some amount of money, and with that money in his pocket he can purchase other varieties of goods fulfilling his demands, or he can save also that money for further investment. That means in proto-industrialization, mass production is taking place specifically to earn profit. In barter system, there was no concept of earning profit. It is only for exchange or fulfilling the needs of one's own family. But now important point of difference between proto-industrialization and industrialization is that in proto-industrialization, the large-scale production was not based on factories. This is an important point, that large-scale production was not based on factories, or we can say that proto-industrialization, it was a preparatory phase, finally giving way to industrialization. Mass production is taking place, currency is in circulation, profit motive is also there, and people are selling the surplus product in market, which ultimately led to the way of industrialization. And in industrialization, specifically we have the concept of setting up of the factories or mills, people migrating from rural area to urban area in search of employment, because urban centers were the hub of industrialization. Another important feature of proto-industrialization was it provided a connectivity or a link between the rural and the urban area. In a later lecture, we will discuss why Europe was the place where industrialization took place. Now, in proto-industrialization, one important topic which we have to study is that the merchants who were located in the industrial centers, they could not expand production within the towns. I am writing here that merchants could not expand production within towns. In this, what the main thing is required, or one of the main important topic which we have to study here is the occurrence of trade guilds, or we can say that in urban areas there was a system of trade guilds due to which merchants could not expand their production within the towns. Trade guilds can be defined as the associations of producers that trained craftspeople, maintained control over production, they regulated competition and prices, and restricted the entry of new people into the trade. So, important feature of trade guild is that associations of producers which trained craftsperson. Other important feature is that the trade guilds, they maintained control over production. Another feature of trade guild is that these associations of producers, they regulated competition and prices. Another feature of trade guild is that these associations of producers, they restricted the entry of new people into the trade. In short, for the trade guilds, I can write here, these were the association of producers. Again, I am repeating this point, that trade guilds, they were the association of producers which trained craftspeople, or they maintained control over production, they regulated competition and prices, and they restricted the entry of new people into trade. That is why it was a major hindrance for the merchants to carry on the production within the towns. For example, if a person A, suppose A, he is a new merchant who is having a money to invest in production, but he himself does not have a skill. For example, this new merchant, he wants to indulge in the production related to weaving, but he himself is not skilled in this weaving activity. He is just a capitalist who is having the resources to be invested to earn profit. Now suppose B, this is a group of association of producers. It could have 10 producers in the association or more than 10. Now what is happening, that the association, the B association of producers, if they are also having the business of weaving, or they are indulged in weaving, they are having the craftsperson to carry on this activity, and they can earn profit out of this by selling the finished product in the market. Now the major task for the B group of producers is that they would restrict the entry of producer A into this weaving activity. Now they can have many ways to restrict his entry into this weaving activity. First is they can have the monopoly rights for weaving. They can have it by the ruler of the country, that they can have the monopoly rights to indulge in the task of weaving. Another option is that they can cut off the resources to the A producer by having an agreement with the supplier of the raw material. Another thing is they can regulate competition and prices because they are already in this task of weaving. So now they can reduce the cost of the prices, but the A producer, he will naturally just entered into the market, he will charge the higher price, so he will earn loss and therefore he cannot continue in this activity of weaving. Another thing can be that B producers or the B group of producers, they are having craftspeople under them. They have provided them lot of training and resources. So now they are already in this business and it is very difficult for the new merchant to carry on this activity. So the best option now, the A merchant, is even he is determined to carry on this activity of weaving because he is having the resources. Now the thing is, another option for the A producer is that now he can move to the countryside. Countryside is the rural area nearby the town area. What will happen that in the countryside he is having the large number of weavers. They are having their traditional methods of weaving. They are indulged in this task of weaving since generation to generation. Now what will happen that the A merchant, he will have a contract with the countryside weavers. He will say that supposingly by the end of this month, I'll place an order of 100 shirts and I will collect these shirts from you by the end of this month. So now the A merchant, what will happen? He will provide loan or he will advance loan to the weavers in the countryside. This loan is advanced to purchase the raw material required by the weavers. In return, the weaver, they will supply to the A merchant as per the contract by the end of the month or whatever date is determined, they will supply the product A merchant. Now this merchant, the weaver in the countryside, they will provide the product to the A merchant. And the merchant A, he will not keep the product with himself. Instead, he will supply it in the market. And he can earn profit.